ഞങ്ങളുടെ കൂടപ്പുറപ്പുകളെ രക്ഷിച്ച കാശ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ട സർ. പിന്നെ സാർ ഒരു കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു, ഞങ്ങൾ നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു പോയ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കേടായ ബോട്ടുകളെല്ലാം റിപ്പയർ ചെയ്ത് തരും. സാർ അത് ചെയ്തു തരുന്നത് വളരെ നല്ല കാര്യമാണ്. അതല്ലാതെ നമ്മുടെ കൂടപ്പുറപ്പിനെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സൗഹൃദങ്ങളെ രക്ഷിച്ചതിനുള്ള കാശ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ട സാർ.
And after that extensive coverage of monsoon fury in Kerala, we'll slip into a short break right now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned for that.
You're watching India Ahead.
Years as a journalist, for me personally, has been a great learning experience. Political reportage in states here at the center has all helped me understand the finer nuances of this profession. It's undoubtedly a very, very exciting phase of my life. But during these past 16 years, I have always wondered, we in the Indian media always love to debate and discuss a problem. We in the media have frankly never experimented with a problem-solving mindset. In fact, we are fueled by a problem-highlighting and in some cases, a problem-creating mindset. You expose a politician, a bureaucrat, a businessman, a film star immediately when you start seeking solutions. Those who have solutions will shine and those who don't will perish. I think this is the expectation that a new India has of its journalism, of its country, and this is exactly what is going to take India ahead.
I wish that India Ahead should come out with unbiased news which will help the people to know what is happening in the country without fear or fervor. I wish them all success.
हाँ मम्मी।
खा रहा मेरा बच्चा?
कुछ खास नहीं मम्मी।
सरसों का साग मंगा।
यहाँ तो सिर्फ कल परसों का मिलता है। तुम्हारी बहुत याद आती है मम्मी। एक काम करते हैं, सुबह तुम फोन करना, दोपहर को मैं।
The Matrix SIM card you can talk on and on and on because it doesn't cost the air.
घर आजा।
नहीं वापस नहीं आऊंगा, बस फोन करते रहना मम्मी।
Get free calls and unlimited data with Matrix SIM cards. You're watching India Ahead.
Welcome back. The flood situation remains grim in Karnataka's Kodagu district as well. Rescue teams have been responding to SOS calls, reaching out to interior villages and evacuating people stranded in isolated places. Here we see a daring rescue operation of a differently abled man on wheelchair through treacherous terrain of Mukkodlu village in Kodagu district. As many as 60 people were rescued from Mukkodlu, one of the worst hit regions of the district. A family of 6 escaped death and ran for shelter after their house and 3-acre estate came crashing down in Katakeri flash floods. 3 of their relatives lost their lives in the landslide. At present, they have taken refuge and are taking supplies from relief centers, is what we are told. We spoke to the family to understand the hardships they had to go through. Take a look.
Saraswati from Katagiri had to vacate her home 4 days ago. Her entire estate was also washed out. She had to trek all the way uphill for around 10 kilometers and reach the highway from where she was rescued by the NDRF teams. Right now, she's staying at a nearby relative's place. She's coming here at the Rotary Club where all these provisions are being organized. All the Rotary organizers have been giving people with provision and medical facilities. She's here to collect few things for her family, the essentials that she wants. Let's go over to her and speak to her and understand what she went through. ಅಕ್ಕ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯಾವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು?
ನಾವು ಮಡಿಕೇರಿಗೆ ಗುರುವಾರ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಕಟ್ಟಕೆರೆಯಿಂದ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು?
ಕಾಟಕೆರೆಯಿಂದ ಗುರುವಾರ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಮಡಿಕೇರಿಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಮಡಿಕೇರಿಯಿಂದ ಮೇಕೇರಿಗೆ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ.
ಏನೇನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಿವರ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಮನೆದು ಗೋಡೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ತೋಟ ಫುಲ್ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನು ಅವ್ರ ಯಜಮಾನರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದು ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಇದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ದು ಇದು ಕಲ್ಲು ಬಿದ್ದು ಫುಲ್ ಇದು ಎದೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋವಾಯಿತು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಗುರುವಾರ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆನೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬಂದು ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.
So 4 days ago she said there was massive landslide and the entire estate was washed away. 2 of her walls in her house also came down, so it was really unsecure for her, for her to stay back with her family there. So the family decided to move to Madikeri. They immediately trekked uphill in the estate and made their way through there till the highway. In the process, the husband got hurt and he was brought to a hospital. As of now, she is here trying to collect some provision and medical, medicine for the family as well.
Well, the Rotary Club Hall in Madikeri has been one of the prime storage locations for stocking provisions, medicine, water and clothes for people in distressed and displaced situation due to the floods. India head's Anant Shreyas spoke to Vishwanath, the main organizer, who tells us about how the whole relief camps are being given supplies and other essentials.
I'm currently here in Madikeri's Rotary Club, one of the main centers where most of the provisions and relief funds and the things that are being collected are being stocked. So as you can see, we have food, we have water, we have warm clothes to wear, and also a lot of medical facilities and medicines being given out to most of the people. So the people who are being affected by flood and landslides have to come here, collect their part of provision, and this is the only way they can go back to their villages. And another thing is, most of the things that are being collected here are being transported to remote areas of Kodagu where people are being stranded. So the whole thing is organized and managed by Mr. Vishwanath here of Rotary Club. Let's go over to him and ask him what are the kind of logistical problems that he's facing, how is he managing things. So Mr. Vishwanath, what are the things that you have here as of now?
See, all the basic necessities for everyone to on a day-to-day life. We have starting from brush and paste to adult diapers and children diapers also, with pampers and everything. All hygienic materials we have. Apart from this, we are also giving ORS, mineral water to drink, and clothing, because these people have left their houses with only the cloth what they have on them. And here you can see the volunteers from Rotary, from Kodava Samaja, from Sahakara Bharati. All organizations, we have pooled our resources together. This is a collecting center. From here, we are serving the Madikeri localites with the required clothing. 1 or 2 sets of clothing we are giving. And also we have medical facility here. We are giving them the medical as well as provisions. As of now, you can see, we had good load of provisions, but now it is exhausted. Never mind, we are getting it again. We will see to it that for the next 3-4 days, until the government takes over the responsibility and runs it for the state, we are going to run this Kendra.
Moving on, Karnataka PWD Minister H.D. Aerwyna is being called out for his ruthless behavior after he was seen flinging biscuit packets at flood victims in a relief camp in Hassan on Monday. The minister, elder brother of Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy, had visited flood-ravaged Ramanathapura to meet the displaced people who are in dire need of food and clean drinking water. And after interacting with the people there for a few minutes, he started throwing biscuit packets at them. While some people took the biscuit packets thrown at them out of sheer hunger and desperation, many others refused to touch the packets, saying Aerwyna treated them like animals without basic human courtesies. Videos of the act have gone viral on social media, and Aerwyna was at the receiving end of severe criticism for his uncouth behavior. The BJP has called the act disrespectful and has demanded an apology from the PWD minister. The minister's ridiculous, uncouth behavior caught on camera, where he can be seen throwing biscuit packets at flood victims as if they were animals. In fact, some civilized citizens even refuse to do that to animals. Animal lovers in the country would actually extend their hands all the way to feed the animals. And here is a minister, the brother of Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy, H.D. Aerwyna, who is also the Public Works Department Minister in the Karnataka government, throwing those biscuit packets at the flood victims. Some of those women laughing at that gesture. Some youngsters had to take those biscuit packets out of sheer desperation, but many others refused to take that food being given by the PWD minister. Look at there. Look at the way he's throwing those biscuit packets at people. For more on this, I have my colleague Shruti Mathur joining us from the newsroom. Shruti, indeed a detestable gesture there by the Public Works Department Minister. He's throwing biscuit packets as if he's throwing that to animals. In fact, there are many who would even refuse to do that to animals.
Absolutely. I think that's a move that was unwarranted, because you're going there to really share, the sorrow of people, because let's also not forget that those people have come to the shelter homes after leaving their homes because the situation in those districts is extremely bad. Now, Hassan has been severely affected with floods, and that is where H.D. Aerwyna, who is not only the PWD minister, he is the older brother of the chief minister himself. And it's really unfortunate that a minister of this stature had to do something like this, because all these ministers have been going to different places to just be there for the people, to just tell them that the government is there for them during this time of need. And when you do see a minister, a state cabinet rank minister indulging in something like this, it is absolutely, detestful. It's in bad taste, and a few people rightly did not even want to eat it, because like a lot of people said, they didn't want to be treated like animals.
Now, if you look at the body language of the minister, clearly it indicates high-handedness and I don't give a damn kind of an attitude, which is extremely detestable, deplorable. You would not expect a gesture like that from anybody. Forget about the fact whether he's a minister or not. And this is a move that will invite severe criticism. In fact, the BJP has already started coming down heavily on H.D. Aerwyna, and even the netizens have gone wild with their criticism, because this is something which is clearly very, very unacceptable in a civilized society.
Absolutely unacceptable, Ravi. In fact, like you just said, videos have gone viral on social media. He has been at the receiving end of flake from people across the country. The BJP has demanded an apology, and even though the JDS does come out with an explanation saying that maybe he was in hurry or whatever be the reason, I think this is an act that really cannot be justified, and either he will have to issue an apology for the act, or the JDS better have a explanation that people can buy, which I'm sure they will not.
Well, remains to be seen what kind of action will be taken against this minister for this ridiculous behavior, because clearly from the visuals you can see he was not in any kind of hurry. It is just a matter of pure high-handedness, attitude, and it is just a matter of taking pride in the fact that he is somebody who is in a very, very powerful position. But this is absolutely detestable, deplorable behavior by any responsible individual. This is purely unacceptable. Remains to be seen how the government in Karnataka deals with this. Thank you so much for joining and sharing all those details with us. Shruti Mathur there telling us more about this very, very deplorable behavior by Karnataka PWD Minister H.D. Aerwyna, who threw biscuit packets at flood victims as if he was dealing with animals. Twitterati has gone berserk with their criticism. Netizens are mighty upset with this behavior, and same is the case with the opposition in Karnataka, which has demanded for the minister's resignation over this irresponsible, unacceptable behavior. Staying with the rains, as situation normalizes in Kerala, rain fury continues in Andhra Pradesh and even Telangana now. About 300 pilgrims and traders were stranded in the forest area on the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. This happened when a small stream of water suddenly received flash floods, cutting off road links. The pilgrims were going to Mangamma temple, which is situated at the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Some vehicles parked there were also washed away in the swirling flood waters. Fresh landslides have also hit Andhra Pradesh, affecting passers-by and disrupting road traffic in various parts of the state. AP Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu meanwhile addressed the media after conducting an internal meeting with his ministers. The Chief Minister said that a red alert had been sounded off in most of the low-lying areas of Andhra Pradesh. He also said that 4 districts of Andhra Pradesh had been severely affected by the recent rains and floods. Naidu said that the agricultural losses will be assessed and the reports would be sent to the centre once floodwater subsides, while also saying that the government officials were bracing themselves for more floods in the coming days.
ఎక్కడికక్కడ వైద్య శిబిరాలు కానీ మందులు కానీ సిద్ధంగా పెట్టాం. ఎసెన్షియల్ కమాడిటీస్ కూడా సిద్ధంగా పెట్టాం. ఎక్కడైతే మెరూన్ అయిందో పంటలు దెబ్బతిన్నాయో అవన్నీ కూడా ఇమీడియట్గా అధికార యంత్రాంగాన్ని అప్రమత్తం చేసి ఎస్టిమేట్స్ కూడా తయారు చేయమన్నాం. ఒక పక్కన చూస్తే మనకు ముఖ్యంగా ఈ 4 జిల్లాల్లో, శ్రీకాకుళంలో కొద్దిగా ఉంది కానీ ఈ 4 జిల్లాల్లో ఎక్కువ ఇదయింది. మన దగ్గర పడిన వర్షాల కంటే కూడా పైన వచ్చిన వర్షాలు, ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన వర్షాలు 2 అదనంగా యాడ్ అయినాయి. అదే రాయలసీమ, విజయనగరం అలాంటి జిల్లాల్లో ఇంకా మన రెయిన్ఫాల్ తక్కువే ఉంది. ఇన్ టైం, రియల్ టైంలో ఏమేం చేయాలనో ఆ యాక్టివిటీస్ అని చేస్తూ మనం కంట్రోల్ చేసుకుంటూ మ్యాక్సిమం ఎవరికి కూడా సఫరింగ్ లేకుండా, ఇబ్బందులు లేకుండా వాళ్ళందరినీ ఏ విధంగా చేయాలనో అవన్నీ చేస్తున్నాం.
Despite breaking away from the NDA, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu seems to be a happy man, and this is the reason for his happiness. Andhra Pradesh government has received a shot in the arm with a welcome response to the issue of bonds to raise funds for its new capital Amaravati. Amaravati bonds have been subscribed 1.5 times. The bonds were issued for 1300 crore rupees and snapped up 2000 crore rupees in an overwhelming response in just an hour. The issuing authority says that the response shows the faith the investors have reposed in the Andhra Pradesh government. These funds are vital to making swift progress in greenfield projects and realize the potential of developmental works in the state capital. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu had mandated APCRDA to explore innovative approaches to financing the capital city. Our correspondent Aerwyna has sent us this report. Take a look.
Bonds issued by the Andhra Pradesh Capital Regional Development Authority has received an overwhelming response from the institutional investors. The bonds were oversubscribed for over 1.5 times on an electronic bidding platform, while the plan is to raise around 10,000 crores through a crowdfunding exercise. But the government seems to be in confusion over the greenfield capital and the big city, as the economic potential is high. But it may lead to losses over the high cost burden, as the economy cannot be transferred to Amravati. With camera person Chari, Aerwyna, India Ahead.
Meanwhile, the opposition parties in the state of Andhra have reacted to the issuance of these bonds. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు బాండ్లు తీసుకొస్తూ ఆ బాండ్లలో కూడా కమిషన్లు తీసుకునే రకం. కమిషన్లు ఏమిటో తెలుసా? 2000 కోట్ల రూపాయలు బాండ్లు తీసుకొచ్చారు అప్పు. ఆ 2000 కోట్ల రూపాయల కమిషన్ ఎంతో తెలుసా ఈ పెద్ద మనిషి ఇచ్చింది? అక్షరాల 17 కోట్ల రూపాయల కమిషన్ ఇచ్చాడు.
In this case, it will be very difficult to service the debt, and you may build the infrastructure with this money, but you cannot generate the revenue immediately after building the infrastructure. If you compare Hyderabad and Pune and play an emotional card of capital here in Andhra Pradesh, it's going to be a political gimmick only. It is not going to help Andhra Pradesh.
These funds will maximize the wealth of the state and the people of Andhra Pradesh because the capital which is going to be utilized for the public needs and the projects which are going to be constructed or revenue generating assets for the future needs of the Andhra Pradesh.
Time now for another short break, but news and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned.
You're watching India Ahead.
Hi, this is Aerwyna Tandon और आप देख रहे हैं India Ahead, always ahead.
News for us is not yet another report on yet another scam. Not just yet another exclusive news break.
Not just a typical political blame game.
News isn't about looking at the world in black and white.
News that talks and debates the solutions, not just the problems.
News that takes you ahead. News that takes India ahead.
हेलो सर, नेहा कॉलिंग फ्रॉम ऐसा वैसा बैंक. सर क्रेडिट कार्ड.
क्रेडिट कार्ड तो मेरे पास नहीं खो गया. तुम्हारे ब्रांचेस कहाँ पे हैं? जाम्बिया, सोमालिया, वेनिस.
प्लीज होल्ड सर.
नो प्रॉब्लम. Company ka mal, darya mein dal.
When people from your company travel abroad, insist on a Matrix SIM card so they don't go on and on wasting company money.
Hello sir, my talk time getting over sir.
Last 10 minutes, please.
Get free calls and unlimited data with Matrix SIM cards.
Hi, this is Shraddha Kapoor and you're watching India Ahead.
Every day, things happen that affect your world. Are you on the right track? Times, they're changing. Are you changing with the time? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. India ahead. While others give heat, we shed light.
Hi, this is Jimmy Shergill and I would like to wish India Ahead all the very best.
So when was the last time you went to the jungle? Actually, you don't need to. Every night, it comes to you for free on the television news channels.
बिना पढ़े, बिना तैयारी किए, बिना टीवी देखे आप आके बैठ गए यहाँ टीवी पे बोलने के लिए. बोल चुके.
यहाँ सवाल का जवाब देना होगा.
एक सेकंड. आपको जाना है तो चले जाइए.
जा रहे हैं हम. चले जाइए.
How dare you say you leave?
I will say what I want. It's my show.
Where debate becomes a dogfight and news becomes noise.
You don't have the guts to answer the specific questions. That is why you're running away from it.
And journalists become judges for options, not just opinions. For solutions, not just suggestions. For answers, not just questions. Join us every weeknight, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. only on India Ahead. You're watching India Ahead.
Welcome back. After receiving flak from all quarters for hugging Pakistani Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa, Navjot Singh Sidhu said he will give a strong reply to everyone when needed. His comments came after Punjab Chief Minister Amarinder Singh ticked him off, saying it was wrong of Sidhu to have done that, given that our Jawans were being killed every day. A case has also been registered against Sidhu for insulting Indian Army by hugging the Pak Army Chief. Lawyer Sudhur Ocha has filed the case at a Muzaffarpur court for charging Sidhu with sedition. The complaint stated that Sidhu's gesture had hurt the sentiments of the people of the country. The court has admitted the case and will hear the matter in the coming week. And it has been a pretty decent start for Team India at the Asian Games 2018. Vinesh Phogat made the country proud yesterday. Take a look. Arjuna awardee Vinesh Phogat became the first Indian woman wrestler to win gold medal in Asian Games. She trumped Yuki Aerwyna of Japan in the final of the women's wrestling event at the Asian Games. This was India's second gold in the tournament. The first one also came in wrestling through Bajrang Punia. Vinesh defeated Yuki 6-2 in the 50 kg category to bag the top prize and take India's tally of gold medals to 2 at the 18th edition of the Games, currently being held in Indonesia.
पहले तो मुझे पता नहीं था कि मैं पहली महिला बनूंगी और ऐसा कुछ दिमाग में आया भी नहीं क्योंकि मेरा बेस्ट देने का ये था कि मुझे बेस्ट देना आज क्योंकि काफ़ी सिल्वर हो चुके थे मेरे एशियन चैंपियनशिप में भी और मुझे फिर से मौका मिला था तो बस यही था कि बस गोल्ड लेना है कैसे भी करके कैसे भी मैंने पूरा अपोनेंट का मैच देखा मैच से पहले कि क्या कर सकती हूँ जो मैंने सोचा था वो सब हुआ और गोल्ड मेडल मिला और पूरा देश जो दुआ दे रहा था और जो मेरी मेहनत थी वो रंग लाई आज.
Well, tweets from all over congratulated Vinesh. Let's take a look at some of the reactions that we saw on Twitter. The President of India said, "Congratulations, Phogat Vinesh, on winning the gold medal in 50 kg freestyle wrestling at the Asian Games 2018. A proud moment for the country." Home Minister Rajnath Singh there congratulating Vinesh Phogat. We also saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi's tweet earlier. "What a stupendous performance by Vinesh Phogat," said Rajyavardhan Rathore, the sports minister. Smriti Irani, "As India continues to shine at Asian Games, it is a proud moment for Vinesh Phogat and the country." Virendra Sehwag, Paji, also congratulating Vinesh Phogat. VVS Lakshman, the ace cricketer. Amit Shah, BJP National President. Congratulatory messages poured in from all quarters, from political and sports fraternity. Even many celebrities congratulated Vinesh for bagging her maiden and India's maiden gold in the women's category at 50 kg wrestling. Here's a look at the medals tally thus far. China on top with 14 golds, 8 silver medals and 8 bronze medals. Japan is second with 7 golds, 8 silvers and 10 bronze medals. Indonesia, the host nation, is on number 3 with a total tally of 8 medals. Korea has 23 golds, 9 of them silvers and 8 bronze medals. Chinese Taipei has 8 in total, 3 golds, 4 silvers and 1 bronze. And with that, we'll call it a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Time now for a short break, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned.
You're watching India Ahead.
pleased to encourage the new channel that's coming out under the name India Ahead. We need new voices, free voices, liberal voices that will speak to all sections of our society and that will portray what's happening in India today and tomorrow in a constructive spirit. So in that spirit, I wish India Ahead all success.
What does India have that the world's top economies don't? It's 600 million strong youth population. What does the youth have that others don't? A hunger to solve problems. See ahead and take the society ahead. So watch me, Vaishali Gaba, as I don't just take India's television to the future, but bring India's future back to television.
हेलो डार्लिंग। हाँ? अरे यहाँ भी लोग अंताक्षरी खेल रहे हैं। अच्छा? हम भी खेलें फोन पे? जा 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 कबूतर, पहले प्यार की पहली चिट्ठी।
The Matrix SIM card you can talk on and on and on because it doesn't cost the earth.
जाओ मैं बात नहीं करती।
Get free calls and unlimited data with Matrix SIM card.
डेमोक्रेसी को मजबूत करने के लिए मीडिया का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण रोल होता है। ऐसे में मुझे पूरा विश्वास है इंडिया अहेड न्यूज जनता की सेवा की भावना से और लोकतंत्र को मजबूत करने की दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण रोल अदा करेगा। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
In a world that is rapidly changing, we bring you news that directly impacts your world. From bilateral agreements to global power play, India has come a long way. Dissecting facts from fiction, we bring you the bigger picture. Join me, Sana Khan, as I track international news, bringing you perspectives that shape India's world. Only on India Ahead.
I will wish you all the best and also hope that you do a large number of stories that are also of human interest, that expose the unknown heroes of the country, of the area where you are, so that other citizens also get inspiration from the good work that's happening in the country.
Join me, Saurabh Sanyal, on weeknights as we debate, discuss and analyze the top stories of the day with policymakers and influencers. Inclusive debates which arrive at solutions by talking India Ahead.
You're watching India Ahead.
A very good morning. You're watching India Ahead at 8. My name is Ravi Kumar Dhulipala. A quick look at the headlines this hour. As rain subsides in flood-ravaged Kerala, focus shifts to rebuilding and rehabilitation. Over 9 lakh people living at relief camps pick up the pieces, prepared to get back to their respective homes. Six more bodies recovered in Ernakulam on Monday, taking the death toll from August 8th to 223. IMD confirms that in just 20 days in August, Kerala received the highest rainfall in 87 years for an entire month. Centre declares Kerala floods as a calamity of severe nature. Union government exempts customs duty and IGST on relief material headed to the state. HDK's elder brother and Karnataka Minister HD Aerwyna shows his uncouth behaviour, throws biscuit packets at flood victims at the relief camps, invites ire of netizens and the opposition party in the state. Arjuna awardee Vinesh Phogat makes the country proud, becomes the first Indian woman to win a gold at the Asian Games, bags second Asiad gold for India after wrestler Bajrang Punia. And Virat Kohli smashes his 23rd Test century to put India in a dominating position at Trent Bridge. India declare with a lead of 521 runs. England need to bat out 2 days to save the match. Andhra Pradesh government has received a shot in the arm with a welcome response to the issue of bonds to raise funds for the new capital, Amaravati. Amaravati bonds have been subscribed 1.5 times. The bonds were issued for 1,300 crore rupees and snapped up 2,000 crore rupees in an overwhelming response in just an hour. The issuing authority says the response shows the faith the investors have reposed in the Andhra Pradesh government. These funds are vital to making swift progress in greenfield projects and in realizing the potential of developmental works. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu had mandated APCRDA to explore innovative approaches to financing the capital city. Our correspondent Aerwyna Shah has sent us this report from Amaravati. Let's take a look.
The Amaravati bonds issued by the Andhra Pradesh Capital Regional Development Authority has received an overwhelming response from the institutional investors. The bonds were oversubsidized for over 1.5 times on an electronic bidding platform, while the plan is to raise around 10,000 crores through a crowdfunding exercise. But the government seems to be in confusion over the greenfield capital and the big city as the economic potential is high. But it may lead to losses over the high cost burden as the economy cannot be transferred to Amaravati. With camera person Chari, Aerwyna Shah, India Ahead.
Meanwhile, there have been reactions coming in from the opposition parties. Jagan Mohan Reddy has denounced the government over the exercise, while there was explanation provided by one of the government officials. Take a look.
Chandrababu Naidu garu బాండ్లు తీసుకొస్తూ ఆ బాండ్లలో కూడా కమిషన్లు తీసుకునే రకం. కమిషన్లు ఏమిటో తెలుసా? 2,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలు బాండ్లు తీసుకొచ్చారు అప్పు. ఆ 2,000 కోట్ల రూపాయల కమిషన్ ఎంతో తెలుసా ఈ పెద్ద మనిషి ఇచ్చింది? అక్షరాల 17 కోట్ల రూపాయల కమిషన్ ఇచ్చాడు.
In this case, it will be very difficult to service the debt, and you may build the infrastructure with this money, but you cannot generate the revenue immediately after building the infrastructure. If you compare Hyderabad and Pune and play an emotional card of capital here in Andhra Pradesh, it's going to be a political gimmick only. It is not going to help Andhra Pradesh.
These funds will maximize the wealth of the state and the people of Andhra Pradesh because the capital which is going to be utilized for the public needs and the projects which are going to be constructed or revenue generating assets for the future needs of the Andhra Pradesh.
Moving on to Kerala now, and as situation normalizes in Kerala, rain's fury continues in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. About 300 pilgrims and traders were stranded in the forest area on the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. This happened when a small stream of water suddenly received flash floods, cutting off road links. The pilgrims were going to Mangamma temple, which is situated at the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Some vehicles parked there were also washed away in swirling flood waters. Fresh landslides have also hit Andhra Pradesh, affecting passers-by and disrupting road traffic in various parts of the state. AP Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu addressed the media after conducting an internal meeting with his ministers. Let's listen into what the Chief Minister had to say about a red alert that had been sounded off in most of the low-lying areas of the state.
ఎక్కడికక్కడ వైద్య శిబిరాలు కానీ మందులు కానీ సిద్ధంగా పెట్టాం. ఎసెన్షియల్ కమాడిటీస్ కూడా సిద్ధంగా పెట్టాం. ఎక్కడైతే మెరూన్ అయిందో, పంటలు దెబ్బతిన్నాయో అవన్నీ కూడా ఇమీడియట్గా అధికార యంత్రాంగాన్ని అప్రమత్తం చేసి ఎస్టిమేట్స్ కూడా తయారు చేయమన్నాం. ఒక పక్కన చూస్తే మనకు ముఖ్యంగా ఈ 4 జిల్లాల్లో శ్రీకాకుళంలో కొద్దిగా ఉంది కానీ ఈ 4 జిల్లాల్లో ఎక్కువ ఇదైంది. మన దగ్గర పడిన వర్షాల కంటే కూడా పైన వచ్చిన వర్షాలు ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన వర్షాలు 2 అదనంగా యాడ్ అయినాయి. అదే రాయలసీమ విజయనగరం అలాంటి జిల్లాల్లో ఇంకా మన రెయిన్ఫాల్ తక్కువే ఉంది. ఇన్ టైం రియల్ టైంలో ఏమేం చేయాలనో ఆ యాక్టివిటీస్ అని చేస్తూ మనం కంట్రోల్ చేసుకుంటూ మ్యాక్సిమం ఎవరికి కూడా సఫరింగ్ లేకుండా ఇబ్బందులు లేకుండా వాళ్ళందరినీ ఏ విధంగా ఇచ్చేయాలనో అవన్నీ చేస్తున్నాం.
South Indian states have been battered by heavy rain and flooding this year, and the flood situation remains grim in Karnataka's Kodagu district. Rescue teams have been responding to SOS calls, reaching out to interior villages and evacuating people stranded in isolated places. Here we see a daring rescue operation of a differently abled man on wheelchair through the treacherous terrain of Mukkodlu village in Kodagu district. As many as 60 people were rescued from Mukkodlu, one of the worst hit areas of the region. A family of 6 escaped death and ran for shelter after their house and a 3-acre estate came down in Katakeri flash floods. 3 of their relatives lost their lives in the landslide. At present, they have taken refuge and are taking supplies from relief centers. We spoke to the family to understand the hardships that they are going through, and this is what they had to say.
Saraswati from Katakeri had to vacate her home 4 days ago. Her entire estate was also washed out. She had to trek all the way uphill for around 10 kilometers and reach the highway from where she was rescued by the NDRF teams. Right now, she's staying at a nearby relative's place. She's coming here at the Rotary Club where all these provisions are being organized. All the Rotary organizers have been giving people with provision and medical facilities. She's here to collect few things for her family, the essentials that she wants. Let's go over to her and speak to her and understand what she went through. ಅಕ್ಕ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಯಾವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು?
ನಾವು ಮಡಿಕೇರಿಗೆ ಗುರುವಾರ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಕಟ್ಟಕೆರೆಯಿಂದ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು?
ಕಾಟಕೆರೆಯಿಂದ ಗುರುವಾರ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಮಡಿಕೇರಿಗೆ ಬಂದ. ಮಡಿಕೇರಿಯಿಂದ ಮೇಕೇರಿಗೆ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ.
ಏನೇನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಿವರ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಮನೆದು ಗೋಡೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ತೋಟ ಫುಲ್ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನು ಅವ್ರ ಯಜಮಾನರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದು ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಇದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ದು ಇದು ಕಲ್ಲು ಬಿದ್ದು ಫುಲ್ ಇದು ಎದೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋವಾಯಿತು. ನಮ್ಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟ್ಲಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದು ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆನೇ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಗುರುವಾರ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆನೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬಂದು ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಖಾಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.
So 4 days ago she said there was massive landslide and the entire estate was washed away. 2 of her walls in her house also came down, so it was really unsecure for her, for her to stay back with her family there. So the family decided to move to Madikeri. They immediately trekked uphill in the estate and made their way through till the highway. In the process, the husband got hurt and he was brought to a hospital. As of now, she is here trying to collect some provision and medical, medicine for the family as well.
Well, the Rotary Club Hall in Madikeri has been one of the prime storage locations for stocking provisions, medicine, water and clothes for people in distress and those who have been displaced due to floods. India Head's Anand Shreyas spoke to Vishwanath, the main organizer, who tells us about how the whole relief camps are being provided with supplies.
I'm currently here in Madikeri's Rotary Club, one of the main centers where most of the provisions and relief funds and the things that are being collected are being stocked. So as you can see, we have food, we have water, we have warm clothes to wear, and also a lot of medical facilities and medicines being given out to most of the people. So the people who are being affected by flood and landslides have to come here, collect their part of provision, and this is the only way they can go back to their villages. And another thing is, most of the things that are being collected here are being transported to remote areas of Kodagu where people are being stranded. So the whole thing is organized and managed by Mr. Vishwanath here of Rotary Club. Let's go over to him and ask him what are the kind of logistical problems that he's facing, how is he managing things. So Mr. Vishwanath, what are the things that you have here as of now?
See, all the basic necessities for everyone to on a day-to-day life. We have starting from brush and paste to adult diapers and children diapers also.
with pampers and everything. All hygienic materials we have. Apart from this, we are also giving ORS, mineral water to drink, and clothing, because these people have left their houses with only the cloth what they have on them. And here you can see the volunteers from Rotary, from Kodava Samaja, from Sahakara Bharati. All organizations, we have pooled our resources together. This is a collecting center. From here, we are serving the Madikeri localites with the required clothing. 1 or 2 sets of clothing we are giving. And also we have medical facility here. We are giving them the medical as well as provisions. As of now, you can see, we had good load of provisions, but now it is exhausted. Never mind, we are getting it again. We will see to it that for the next 3-4 days, until the government takes over the responsibility and runs it for the state, we are going to run this Kendra.
Moving on to Kerala now, and the Home Ministry yesterday declared the devastating floods in the state as a calamity of severe nature as the state braced for the mammoth task of reconstruction and rehabilitation. This categorization will enable the state of Kerala to get greater monetary assistance and other kinds of assistance from the centre. The death toll in the current spell of monsoon fury that began on 8th of August has risen to 223. Over 10.78 lakh displaced people, including 2.12 lakh women and 1 lakh children below 12 years of age, have been sheltered in 3,200 relief camps. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that there had been demands from various quarters to declare the floods as a national calamity, but since the centre was pointing out at certain technical difficulties to make such an announcement, he refrained from making any further demands. An all-party meeting will be held today to take stock of the flood situation. Relief material, including provisions, water, fuel and other essentials, have started arriving at the Kochi airport from different parts of the country. A team of around 100 doctors and paramedical staff from Maharashtra left for Kerala yesterday to help the flood-affected people. The centre, meanwhile, provided some relief to the state by easing off customs duty and IGST on the relief material being taken to flood-ravaged Kerala. And giving us the ground report on the state of the paddy fields and the current situation in the houses in Kuttanad area of Kerala, one of the worst affected areas, is my colleague Rickson Ooman. Let's take a look at what he found out.
Yeah, exactly. The situation here in the Kuttanad region is very pathetic because most of the houses were still submerged in the water and most of the roads were completely blocked, and the city has become a stranded area right now, and the major hospitals also being completely stranded, and most of the people are still continuing in terraces and two-story buildings without food and water for almost the last 3-4 days. And we have seen a similar situation there in the Chenganur days before, and now all the rescue operation team have worked there and they shifted all the people to a safer location. But when we come to the Kuttanad area, the lower parts of the state, they are witnessing a huge crisis right now, and most of the people are still continuing in terraces and all, and still we can see that the rescue operation team are shifting people to a safer camp or relief camps and all. The thing is that the people from the other district can't reach to the stranded areas of this particular area. That's a very big challenge the rescue operation team and other district mechanisms are facing right now here. And also most of the houses were completely submerged in the water, and the people are still continuing in the two-story buildings without food and water. And we can, from the visuals, we can understand that the intensity of this huge flood right now, because most of the houses were completely submerged in the water and huge overflow of water, and most of the rivers here were completely submerged, and most of the rivers are overflowing right now here, and the people here are in a very big concern. They have no idea about their future. So the water state right now is thinking about the rehabilitation of the people. But the thing is that the stranded people here are thinking about they need to move into a safer location, into relief camp. From the visuals we can understand the intensity of this particular area. The place was completely cut off. We can't shift from this road to the home. That's the current situation right now here, and the people here are in a very big fear. They have no idea about their future, and also not only the paddy fields, not only the cultivation, not only the agriculture, the whole Kutanad region of the Alleppey district was completely stuck here because from many relief, many rescue food items and everything are coming from the state capital to the stranded areas. But the thing is that the workers which are coming to the place can't go to the rural areas of the Alleppey, especially to Kutanad areas. That's the current situation, the ground situation that we are witnessing here.
While the state is struggling to pick up the pieces after floods have battered Kerala, here is a young fisherman's appeal to the Chief Minister of the state.
Sir, എൻ്റെ പേര് കയസ്. എൻ്റെ വീട് ഫോർട്ട് കൊച്ചിയാണ്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാനും എൻ്റെ കൂട്ടുകാരും എല്ലാവരും കൂടി ഇവിടുന്ന് ബോട്ടെടുത്ത് ഒരുപാട് പേര് രക്ഷിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പോയിരുന്നു. അതിൽ പങ്കെടുത്തതിൽ ഞാൻ അഭിമാനം കൊള്ളുന്നു. സാർ, ഞങ്ങളാണ് സാറിൻ്റെ സൈന്യമെന്ന്. മത്സ്യത്തൊഴിലാളികളാണ് സാറിൻ്റെ സൈന്യമെന്ന്. സാർ, അതിൽ ഞാൻ ഒരുപാട് അഭിമാനിച്ചു, ഞാൻ ഒരുപാട് ആഗ്രഹിച്ചു. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഞങ്ങളുടെ കൂടപ്പുറപ്പുകളെ രക്ഷിച്ച കാശ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ട സാർ. പിന്നെ സാർ ഒരു കാര്യം പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു, ഞങ്ങൾ നഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടു പോയ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കേടായ ബോട്ടുകളെല്ലാം റിപ്പയർ ചെയ്ത് തരുന്നു. സാർ, അത് ചെയ്തു തരുന്നത് വളരെ നല്ല കാര്യമാണ്. അതല്ലാതെ നമ്മുടെ കൂടപ്പുറപ്പിനെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സൗഹൃദങ്ങളെ രക്ഷിച്ചതിനുള്ള കാശ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ട സാർ.
Time now for a short break, but news and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned.
You're watching India Ahead.
Hi, this is Vidya Balan and you're watching India Ahead. Keep watching.
Solutions, not just suggestions. Options, not just opinions. Answers, not just questions. Anything and everything that will take India ahead.
India ahead, they have to make the society go forward. Once again, I am wishing them.
Relevant, responsive, responsible. It's about time. You're watching India Ahead.
Welcome back. The UK authorities have confirmed to the CBI that fugitive billionaire Nirav Modi, who's alleged to be the mastermind of India's biggest banking fraud of over $2 billion, is in the country. The Central Bureau of Investigation has also submitted an extradition request to the Home Ministry immediately after getting the confirmation. The request to bring him back will be sent to the United Kingdom through the External Affairs Ministry. The agency has also requested the authorities in the UK to detain him on the basis of the Red Corner notice issued by the Interpol against him. The Red Corner notice was issued on the request of the CBI in June this year. Nirav Modi, along with his wife Amy Modi, a US citizen, brother Nishal Modi, a Belgian citizen, and uncle Mehul Choksi, have all been accused in the CBI's FIRs in the case and had left the country in the first week of January. For more on this, I'm joined in by my colleague Akshay, who gives us insights into the extradition request placed by the CBI and the Indian authorities. News seems to be tightening around Nirav Modi now.
Exactly, Ravi. News is certainly tightening around the economic offender Nirav Modi and his uncle Mehul Choksi. While the latest information that we and the Indian authorities have got right now is that UK authorities have confirmed that in fact that Nirav Modi is hiding in UK right now, and this gives a very strong case for the Indian authorities to ask Interpol as well as the UK authorities to deport him. From all we know right now, Nirav Modi earlier denied coming back to India, citing business and medical reasons, and said that he won't be coming to India, whereas his uncle Mehul Choksi, who is also involved in this case, is right now hiding in Antigua, whereas the Antigua government has denied deporting him back to India. So the insight that we have on this case is that first, CBI will have to, the extradition request has been sent, but for deportation they will have to send an application through the Ministry of External Affairs. They have also sent an application to the Interpol, and the work of Interpol right now is that based on the red corner notice, they will have to locate him and send him back after a case and a trial has been launched and has been completed. So the strongest case for India right now here is that Interpol has 192 countries. It is operating in more than 192 countries, and in any of those countries, if Nirav Modi is hiding, then it is the job of Interpol as well to locate and find him and arrest him and put him to trial for the cases and the economic cases that he is alleged to be involved in right now, Ravi.
Well, the latest development also means that Nirav Modi is indeed present in the United Kingdom, and therefore he will not be able to travel freely now, because there is a red alert notice that has been issued by the Interpol, and now with the CBI mounting pressure on both the UK authorities and the Interpol, chances are very, very likely that the economic offender is extradited back to India. Thank you so much, Akshay, for joining and sharing all those details with us. Time now for some sports news, and a moment of immense pride for India yesterday as Vinesh Phogad became the first woman wrestler to clinch a gold for the country. Arjuna awardee Vinesh Phogad became the first Indian woman wrestler to win gold medal at the Asian Games. She trumped UK Aerwyna of Japan in the final of the women's wrestling event. This was India's second gold in the tournament, the first also coming in wrestling through Bajrang Punia. Vinesh defeated Yuki 6-2 in the 50 kg category to back the top prize and take India's tally of gold medals to 2 at the 18th edition of the Games in Indonesia. Let's listen to what the winner had to say post her victory.
पहले तो मुझे पता नहीं था कि मैं पहली महिला बनूंगी, और ऐसा कुछ दिमाग में आया भी नहीं, क्योंकि मेरा बेस्ट देने का ये था कि मुझे बेस्ट देना आज, क्योंकि काफ़ी सिल्वर हो चुके थे मेरे एशियन चैंपियनशिप में भी, और मुझे फिर से मौका मिला था, तो बस यही था कि बस गोल्ड लेना है कैसे भी करके। कैसे भी मैंने पूरा अपोनेंट का मैच देखा मैच से पहले कि क्या कर सकती हूँ, जो मैंने सोचा था वो सब हुआ और गोल्ड मेडल मिला, और पूरा देश जो दुआ दे रहा था और जो मेरी मेहनत थी वो रंग लाई आज।
And for more on this, we are joined in by my colleague Harshit all the way from Delhi. Harshit, a moment of great pride for India. Vinesh has bagged the second gold for the country in this edition of the Asian Games. She spoke about her preparation. She said that she has been watching videos of all her opponents, and I think the preparation came in handy at the right moment.
Absolutely, Ravi. Not just the finals. If you look at her run to the final, it was clear how dominant things were for her. Even in the final, if you talk about that one particular game, she'd taken a 4-0 lead, which talks about the kind of preparation that she'd gone through. And one of the things that was said about her during the course was the fact that she was very well prepared and had displayed dominance at every stage. So, and she just went on to personify that. She went on to personify that excellence in the finals as well. It ultimately ended as a 6-2 win for her in the 50 kg category. But again, kudos to the kind of preparation and the team management that's been backing her throughout the course.
Right, and a quick word on the men's hockey team. They are the defending champions and they went on to beat the home team by a huge margin of 17-0. That should have given them a lot of confidence.
There's no doubt about that, Ravi. You know, I think 17-0 is a mammoth scoreline. And to do that to the host, just talks about the kind of preparation and the kind of confidence the Indian team has right now. You know, they didn't really have a good run coming into the tournament, but, positive signs beating the host 17-0.
Right, thank you so much for joining and sharing all those details with us. There has been a declaration from the central government that all the medals won at the Asian Games 2018 will be dedicated to the state of Kerala that is reeling through severe floods, intense rainfall, mammoth landslides and a lot of loss of life and property. So here's wishing our champions all the luck, and here's wishing all the other players all the best for bagging more and more medals. Well, that's all we had on this edition of the Bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Time now for a short break. But on the other side, you'll have Insta News coming your way. Stay tuned for that.
You're watching India Ahead.
We look forward to India Ahead, creating a neutral platform to be inclusive and for all voices to be heard.
I was delighted by the recent creation of India Ahead News. This channel is a great way in which to get across some of the diversity of South India. I hope you'll join me in watching.
India Ahead will have my best wishes always.
India, a country of over 1 billion people.
Inflation is choking.
There's developing news every second.
Fight to protect our country's rights.
But what is it that truly impacts you?
Farmer suicide is still.
When you're looking for facts, not opinions.
Kashmir needs a political solution.
Sense, not sensationalism.
What about the South?
Reports that tell you the real story.
We are battling economic crisis.
When reporters become your voice.
Tamil Nadu fishermen in trouble.
Bringing the news back into news. India Ahead.
India Ahead channel spreads an air of positivity. It's inclusive, not exclusive. I wish the India Ahead channel the very best and hope and pray that it becomes the #1 channel in India.
Even as rain subsided and flood water started to recede across Kerala, the death toll in the unprecedented calamity has now risen to over 390. More than 7 lakh people are living in 5,600 relief camps, and there have been extensive damage to infrastructure that includes 10,000 kilometers of broken roads. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan conducted a series of meetings with his ministers and officers from PWD department to discuss steps forward. Flood-hit Kerala has already recorded 846 cases of dengue fever, close to 2 lakh cases of acute diarrheal disease, 518 cases of malaria, 34 cases of chikungunya and 225 cases of leptospirosis have come to light, according to State's Directorate of Health Services. Numbers are expected to rise further with flood waters accumulating everywhere. College students in Tamil Nadu will no longer be allowed to carry mobile phones. Directorate of Collegiate Education asked all government and government-aided as well as self-financing colleges under its purview to ban their use. The directive, however, does not apply to centre-run institutions like IIT Madras. First commercial flight landed at the Kochi airport after a fortnight after air traffic to the city was completely shut down. Operations at the international airport are still suspended after massive flooding at the airport. Alliance Air, an Air India subsidiary, landed a flight at INS Garuda Naval Air Base. Defence Ministry had previously opened up the naval airstrip for commercial operations. Water levels in the Godavari rivers is rising in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, causing government machinery to be on high alert. The second flood warning was issued as the discharge from Saratha Cotton Barrage crossed 13.15 lakh cusecs. Revenue Police and NDRF as well as SDRF teams have been deployed. Karnataka Chief Minister has assured that rescue teams deployed in Kodagu have evacuated more than 3,500 people so far. Kumaraswamy has briefed Prime Minister Modi and President Kovind, who had called him to inquire about the latest in Kodagu. HD Kumaraswamy said the Army, Navy, the NDRF and other rescue teams were involved in operations. Karnataka's Chief Minister HD Kumaraswamy was seen reading a newspaper while conducting an aerial survey of flood-hit areas in the state. He was conducting an aerial survey along with defence forces in Virajpet, Somwarpet and Madikeri region of Kodagu. Pictures have led to criticism of the Chief Minister, accusing him of carelessness and getting his priorities wrong. Karnataka's Minister H.D. Aerwyna is facing severe criticism after a video showing him throwing food packets to flood-hit victims went viral. The video was shot at a flood relief camp in Ramananthapura in Karnataka. Aerwyna, who is the Public Works Minister in Karnataka, is also Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy's brother. Aerwyna had visited the flood-hit Ramanatpura to meet with the people who have been moved to relief camps due to severe water logging. The fishermen community have won widespread praise by rescuing hundreds of those who were stranded in Kerala's various districts. Qais Mohammed, a leader of fishermen community, on Monday refused to accept 3,000 rupees, in fact, that were offered to each member by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan. Mohammed there adding that he and his colleagues were happy to hear the Chief Minister's words of praise for them, but they don't want any money for saving lives. The National Dairy Development Board has said it will dispatch relief material worth 2 crore rupees. The relief material will be comprising of over 10 lakh packs of ready-to-drink milk, 500 tons of cattle feed and veterinary medicines.
British authorities have confirmed that fugitive offender Nirav Modi is in fact in United Kingdom. The Central Bureau of Investigation has moved in an extradition request for Nirav Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today congratulated his Pakistani counterpart Imran Khan. In a letter written to Imran, PM Modi reiterated the need for a constructive and meaningful engagement towards good relations between the two nations. He also urged for a terror-free South Asia. National Green Tribunal has cancelled Vedanta's plea challenging the closure of Sterlite plant. NGT has further ordered formulation of a committee to investigate the matter and decide within 6 weeks. Remembering the late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee at the all-party prayer meeting in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that Atal ji spent his entire life for the common man, and he was a person who changed the narrative on Kashmir issue. 2 men in Shamli were beaten up by cow vigilantes for allegedly stealing cows in Uttar Pradesh. In the video accessed by India Ahead, the victims can be seen being beaten up brutally by a mob of people claiming to be cow vigilantes. On the occasion of 74th birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, Congress President Rahul Gandhi tweeted that his father was a kind, gentle and affectionate man whose untimely death left a deep void in his life. Prime Minister Modi too remembered the late Prime Minister's efforts towards nation building.
Barely an hour after Prime Minister Imran Khan appointed his 21-member cabinet, Pakistan's newly appointed Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said that, quote, Kashmir remains an issue and it needed to be acknowledged. Addressing reporters in Islamabad, Foreign Minister Qureshi also mentioned that Pakistan needed uninterrupted dialogue with India and there was a need to engage. A series of earthquakes, including a 6.9 magnitude earthquake, rocked the Indonesian island of Lombok, triggering landslides, causing power blackouts and sending people fleeing for cover in panic. Since 28th of July, 30 quakes measuring over 4 on Richter scale have struck the island, which is 40 kilometers from Bali, leaving hundreds of people dead and many more homeless. Speaking on the occasion of the Afghanistan's Independence Day ceremony in Kabul, President Ashraf Ghani announced a ceasefire with Taliban insurgents from Monday to mark Muslim holiday Eid al-Adha. This came despite the heavy fighting seen over recent days in the central city of Ghazni. A senior official in Ghani's office also said that the conditional ceasefire would run for 3 months. It wasn't clear, however, whether the Taliban had accepted Ghani's call for a truce during Eid, the annual Islamic feast of sacrifice, which officially begins Tuesday. Tens of thousands of Muslims gathered in Saudi Arabia to start the annual pilgrimage of Hajj. An estimated 2 million Muslims are expected in Saudi Arabia on this occasion. The pilgrimage represents one of the 5 pillars of Islam and is required of all able-bodied Muslims to fulfill once in their life. Yemeni forces backed by Saudi-led coalition seized control of public offices and facilities in Hodeidah. The fighters reportedly seized control of public administration offices and facilities, including a health center, following heavy battles with Houthi fighters. The port of Hodeidah is Yemen's main point of entry for food aid. According to United Nations, 8.4 million Yemeni people were forced to the brink of starvation. The country has been plunged into a severe humanitarian crisis amid its ongoing conflict. A bridge connecting provinces of Erbil and Kirkuk in Iraqi Kurdistan was reopened after being closed off for 10 months. The bridge was closed following clashes between Iraqi forces and Kurdish Peshmerga fighters. The 2 checkpoints on the bridge are reportedly controlled by both Iraqi and Peshmerga forces. Tensions between Peshmerga fighters and Iraqi forces have risen since Iraqi Kurds voted for secession in a referendum that Baghdad rejected, calling it illegal. A demonstration in protest against the growing Venezuelan population in the border town of Pacaraima took a violent turn as residents attacked and destroyed migrants' shelters and belongings, even forcing some to run over the border into the foothills. The attacks come after a local tradesman was allegedly beaten up and robbed by a Venezuelan. While police are yet to identify the culprit, forces from Rio have been deployed to Pacaraima in order to bring the situation under control. Several gunshots were fired at the American embassy in Turkish capital of Ankara on Monday morning, although no casualties were reported. The assailant fled in a vehicle after between 4 to 5 shots were aimed at a security window. It comes following a deepening diplomatic row between Ankara and Washington regarding the arrest of Pastor Andrew Brunson. A number of LGBTQ supporters of US President Donald Trump staged the so-called deplorable pride in Charlotte, North Carolina, after they were reportedly denied a place at the annual Charlotte Pride for the second year in a row because of their support for Donald Trump. During the rally, Charlotte-based Republican group Deplorable Pride waved rainbow flags and held placards condemning the exclusion from the Pride parade. Chinese inventor Deli Zhao took to the skies above Dongguan aboard his latest creation, a flying scooter. After 2 years in the works and countless unmanned flights, Zhao finally managed to get airborne on the scooter, fulfilling a lifelong dream. The inventor tested the scooter more than 1,500 times since he began the project in 2016. After its first successful manned flight, Zhao hopes he can bring the scooter into the world market. Rome's most iconic monument turned off its light to mourn the victims of the Moran Bridge collapse in Genoa. A major section of Italy's A10 highway collapsed in Genoa on Tuesday following heavy rain, killing at least 41. Saturday has been declared a day of national mourning, and the funeral of the victims took place in Genoa earlier. Russian President Vladimir Putin and German Chancellor Angela Merkel took advantage of a warm summer's day in Germany and enjoyed a drink in the picturesque grounds of Scholz-Meseberg. The two leaders met at the federal government's summer residence for a work meeting when conflicts in Syria, eastern Ukraine and the Nord Stream 2 pipeline were on the agenda. Remember, this is the first time that Putin and Merkel have met since an informal summit took place in Sochi in May this year. A spectacular fireworks show marked the opening of 2 days of Rostec International Firework Festival in Moscow. The amazing performance was accompanied with the background music of Dmitry Shostakovich, Eugene Doga, Francesco Sartori. Organizers promised to demonstrate 120 dynamic firework mountains which would rocket 40 meters into the sky. And hundreds of facial hair enthusiasts attended the 4th biannual British Beard and Moustache Championship in Blackpool. This year, the event comprised 21 categories, including freestyle, handmade, creative, natural, and even categories for those without any facial hair. It was open not only for bearded talents from across the United Kingdom, but also for foreign guests. According to organizers, they wanted to make the event fully inclusive so that people from all nationalities and genders could participate.
India, fasting, feasting, flavors and full tables.
A food show that comes to you straight from the city of the Nizams.
The land of fire and spice. Really good.
An American style with a desi tadka.
Deadly delicious nitrogen ice cream. From bamboo biryani to noodle samosas.
Exotic bamboo biryani. Kebabs and the local Hyderabadi cuisines. This is all about bubble waffles.
From Satvik monsoon to super cool pub grub.
The finest of cuisines from around the country.
India's food festival begins every Saturday afternoon at 1:30. Only on Mealstone.
Hi, I'm Rajkumar Rao और देखते रहिए इंडिया अहेड।
लोग जब बाहर जाते हैं कहते हैं डेटा नहीं चाहिए। हेलो, डेटा कैसे नहीं चाहिए बेटा? गूगल मैप्स तो खोलोगे। और उबर कैसे बुलाओगे बेटा? सेल्फिश के सामने वाली सेल्फी ट्वीट तो करोगे। कैसे चलेगा ये सब बिना डेटा के? माईफाई के साथ ऑल डिवाइसेस कनेक्टेड और डेटा आपकी पॉकेट में। मतलब आगे आगे आप, पीछे पीछे डेटा। डेटा तो चाहिए बेटा। मैट्रिक्स, कुछ तो बात है इनमें।
Happy to greet the India Ahead TV channel. This channel should be news for society and public purpose. All blessing to this channel. Thank you.
Every day, things happen that affect your world. Are you on the right track? Times, they're changing. Are you changing with the time? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. India ahead. While others give heat, we shed light.
England are considering leaving James Anderson and Stuart Broad out of the squad that will tour Sri Lanka later in the year. Although there is a little doubt that Anderson in particular remains England's best bowler, it is understood that England management are aware of the need for succession planning and may use the 3-test series in Sri Lanka to explore their options further. Gautam Gambhir may follow Imran Khan's footsteps and join politics. Yes, close on the heels of Khan becoming the Prime Minister of Pakistan, reports are emerging that Gambhir is all set to contest the next general elections from Delhi on a BJP ticket. And the left-hander is known for his strong nationalistic views that he often shares on social media. The cricketer is being considered by the BJP to bolster its standing in the national capital. And Gareth Bale scored as Real Madrid started La Liga life without Cristiano Ronaldo and their former manager Zinedine Zidane with a comfortable win over Getafe. Dani Carvajal opened up the scoring, but it was Gareth Bale who really doubled the lead in the 63rd minute. Bale hit the bar while driving a shot before and Marco Asensio's cross to wrap up the win. Sticking with football, Manchester United did not show the right attitude in their surprise Premier League defeat at Brighton, according to their captain Paul Pogba. Now the Seagulls, who beat Jose Mourinho's side at the Amex Stadium in May as well to retain their top-flight status, stunned their visitors by scoring 3 goals in the first half, 2 in 2 minutes, in the 25th and 27th minute respectively. And we'll end with a joker as the former world number 1 Novak Djokovic became the first player to win all 9 Master 1000 tournaments with victory over guess who? Roger Federer, of course, in Cincinnati. Now, the 31-year-old Serb, a 5-time runner-up at the event, beat 7-time champion Federer 6-4, 6-4. And the Wimbledon champion Djokovic had lost the last Cincinnati final to the Swiss on 3 previous occasions.
Gear up for some spicy conversation over coffee as Karan Johar finally announces the next season of his show Coffee with Karan. Season 6 of the show will launch on the 21st of October and air every Sunday at 9 p.m. on Star World. Actors Pariniti Chopra and Siddharth Malhotra have unveiled the first 2 posters from their film Jabariya Jodi. Pariniti and Siddharth, who are currently shooting for the film, shared these posters on Twitter. Sonakshi Sinha and Diana Penty went on the sets of Dance Deewane to promote their upcoming film Happy Phir Bhag Jayegi. The actresses were seen making some dance moves with dance queen Madhuri Dixit on the sets of the show. Varun Dhawan, who learned the art of cutting and stitching fabrics for his role of a tailor in the upcoming film Sui Dhaga, recently put his skills to good use. The actor took out time to make a special shirt for his father, David Dhawan, on his 63rd birthday. Actor Malaika Arora Khan is all set to feature in a sizzling song in Vishal Bharadwaj's upcoming film Patakha. Actor Salman Khan has made a comeback with a new teaser of the upcoming season of Big Boss, introducing the type of pairs the audience should expect to see on the reality show. The contestants on the show will not be limited to just couples, as the teaser features a hilarious take on an uncle and his obedient nephew's relationship in a rural setting. Sujata Kumar, who played the role of Sridevi's sister in 2012 Bollywood film English Vinglish, passed away on Sunday night. Her sister and actress Suchitra Krishnamurthy shared the news on her social media account. Nick Jonas and his family were seen at the Mumbai airport last night. The American singer, post his engagement to Bollywood actor Priyanka Chopra, is heading back to the United States. Swara Bhaskar has temporarily deactivated her Twitter account. The actor says she's on a digital detox. When searched for the actor's verified account with the handle @ReallySwara, the page shows no results. Swara says that she's currently holidaying in Europe and will be back on Twitter once she returns. The trailer of Manoj Bajpayee's film Gali Gulya is out. As the trailer opens, we see the intense-looking Manoj Bajpayee, also known as Kudus, playing a part in the movie, trying to figure out what's happening in his neighborhood. The film is a psychological thriller and will leave you with a lot of questions.
उस लड़के को पीट रहा था यार, लेकिन इस साले कैमरे को कुछ पकड़ ही नहीं पा रहे। पड़ोसियों को अगर पता चल गया तो पहले को नहीं चाहता तू यहाँ रहे।
Actor politician Rajnikant has praised the Victor Banerjee star film The Answer, which traces the life of yoga guru Paramhans Yoganandas, late American devotee James Donald Walters, popularly known as Swami Kriyanand. Ahead of the film's release on the 31st of August, Rajnikant saw the film in Chennai and was happy that it spread the message of spiritualism.
What joy I'll know when I find God. I was prepared to leave everything for just a little peace of mind. And now I know that.
A biopic on charismatic AIDMK leader and late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha will be produced in 3 languages to pay a tribute to her achievements both in cinema and politics. The life story of Jayalalitha, to be bankrolled by the Vibri Media Group, the producer of 83 and NTR biopic, would come up in Tamil, Telugu and Hindi and would be launched on the 24th of February, her birth anniversary. Italian actress Asia Argento, who became a leading figure in the Me Too movement after accusing powerhouse producer Harvey Weinstein of rape, paid hush money to a man who claimed she sexually assaulted him when he was 17. The $380,000 payment was made to Jimmy Bennett, an actor and a rock musician who claimed Argento assaulted him in a California hotel room in 2013. Demi Lovato's longtime backup dancer and friend Dani Vitale is denying rumors that she provided drugs to the singer in an emotional essay shared on Vitale's Instagram account. The dancer made it clear that she was not responsible for a calm la culpa that is a singer's relapse. I have never touched nor even seen a drug in my entire life. I do not do drugs, nor would I ever encourage or supply them to anyone I love, Vitali wrote. TV anchor Matt Lawyer's divorce with estranged wife Annette Roque is nearing its finalization, and with it comes a multi-million-dollar settlement. Lawyer has agreed to pay wife Roque up to $20 million in their divorce, which will soon be final.
Hi guys, I'm Kriti Kharbanda and here's wishing India ahead all the best.
Health is wealth. Every 1% of GDP spent on health can potentially increase 5% of the country's wealth by preserving lives and deserving livelihoods. By polluting economics and dirty politics, we certainly need a breath of fresh air. Watch me, Sana Khan, as I unearth stories which promise to make a clean and healthy India ahead.
Election year is round the corner. Having been cornered, the opposition parties have begun doing the rounds. Will federalism replace alleged feudalism? I am Rishabh Madrin Pratap. Join me as I break the fresh grounds to uncover the ground realities and bring you the politics behind politicians. Which government could we expect for India ahead?
Why is the Sensex scaling when the economy is failing? Why is GST called government subscribed tension? What remains the demon in demonetization, and should corporates be gaining when jobs are being lost? Watch me, Vaishali Gaba, as I make it my business to take India ahead.
To get ahead in life, you've got to make a head start. Join me, Shruti Mathur, as I join startups to understand what makes the Deccan India's digital capital and how they are all gearing up to take India ahead.
हाय, मैं हूं तापसी पन्नू और आप देख रहे हैं इंडिया अहेड।
They promise to disrupt yesterday's status quo. They look to provide solutions where others are still asking questions. Bold, sharp, savvy. They dare to dream. But is the startup landscape churning inspiring stories?
Join me, Shruti Mathur, as I try to understand not just what makes India among the world's startup capitals, but also what makes the Deccan the startup capital of India and what really goes into taking India ahead.
Hi, I'm Tiska Chopra. आप देख रहे हैं India Ahead. Keep watching.
4,900 shares sold. 54 for 2,000 shares. निफ्टी ने 10,700 के स्तर को पार कर लिया है।
आज सुबह से ही रफ्तार में मार्केट 5,000 trades of 50.
I'm out. तेजी के साथ बढ़ रहा है बाजार।
What's he doing?
He knows what he's doing. It's 15,000 again.
Call at 44,000 shares.
He's almost got it. Sold.
90 bid away.
Not yet almost.
That's it.
Not enough to get it down.
Let's close it up.
Look beyond the markets. What's happening in the world of business? And how does it affect you? A health check on the state of your economy. Join me, Vaishali Gaba, as I make your news my business. Only on India Ahead.
Hi, मैं हूँ Farah Khan and you're watching India Ahead.
Years as a journalist, for me personally, has been a great learning experience. Political reportage in states here at the center has all helped me understand the finer nuances of this profession. It's undoubtedly a very, very exciting phase of my life. But during these past 16 years, I have always wondered, we in the Indian media always love to debate and discuss a problem. We in the media have frankly never experimented with a problem-solving mindset. In fact, we are fueled by a problem highlighting and in some cases, a problem-creating mindset. You expose a politician, a bureaucrat, a businessman, a film star immediately when you start seeking solutions. Those who have solutions will shine and those who don't will perish. I think this is the expectation that a new India has of its journalism, of its country, and this is exactly what is going to take India ahead.
You're watching India Ahead.
9 in the morning, a very good morning. You're watching India Ahead. My name is Ravi Kumar Dhulipala. A quick look at the headlines this hour. As rain subsides in flood-ravaged Kerala, focus shifts to rebuilding and rehabilitation. Over 9 lakh people living at relief camps pick up the pieces, prepare to get back to their respective homes. 6 more bodies recovered in Ernakulam on Monday, taking the death toll from August 8th to 223. IMD confirms that in just 20 days in August, Kerala received the highest rainfall in 87 years for an entire month. Centre declares Kerala floods as a calamity of severe nature. Union government exempts customs duty and IGST on relief material headed to the state. HDK's elder brother and Karnataka Minister HD Aerwyna shows his uncouth behaviour, throws biscuit packets at flood victims at the relief camps, invites ire of netizens and the opposition party in the state. Arjuna awardee Vinesh Fogart makes the country proud, becomes the first Indian woman to win a gold at the Asian Games, bags a second Asiad gold for India after wrestler Bajrang Punia. And Virat Kohli smashes his 23rd Test century to put India in a dominating position at Trent Bridge. India declare with a lead of 520 runs. England need to bat out 2 days to save the match. Well, our top story this hour, Karnataka PWD Minister HD Aerwyna is being called out for his ruthless behaviour after he was seen flinging biscuit packets at flood victims in a relief camp in Hassan on Monday. The minister, elder brother of Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy, had visited flood-ravaged Ramanathapura to meet the displaced people who are in dire need of food and clean drinking water. And after interacting with the people there for a few minutes, he started throwing biscuit packets at them. While some people at the biscuits thrown at them refused to take the packets, others had to accept and eat them out of sheer hunger and desperation. Joining us on the phone line right now is Tanveer Ahmed from the JDS. Tanveer, I'm sure you would have seen this video of Mr. H.D. Aerwyna flinging biscuit packets at people. Is this acceptable behavior in the first place? Civilized people do not even treat animals like this.
See, firstly, I think media should stop JDS bashing. When the entire party, it's not about JDS, Congress or BJP. People are in distress and we are trying to work, we are trying to focus, we are trying to evacuate
which is highly appreciated, Tanveer. But if you look at the body language of H.D. Aerwyna, it clearly seems like he's very disinterested, high-handed attitude on display. He's throwing the biscuit packets at the victims. Is that what you expect out of your elected representatives?
Gentlemen, it is war-like situation. In a war-like situation, you don't tend to act with your. I know whatever happened it shouldn't have happened. Absolutely, I have no remorse to say this. But what happened? Let us really not use this as a political tool to do mud cleaning, please. Now, we are not doing politics. If at all we need to do politics, we would have done politics. During Gujarat and Chennai, where the entire Kannadiga stood by, we are appealing.
Tanveer, I'm not one bit interested in doing politics over here. We are concerned about the people of Karnataka as much as we appreciate the way the situation has been handled with the government providing aid, but the visuals that I see on my screen are not at all pleasing. This is not what you expect from anybody. And Mr. H.D. Aerwyna is a pretty senior leader. He is the elder brother of the Chief Minister.
Apology would solve the problem. Behalf of my party and my party leader and the minister, I apologize to your entire audience.
Having said that, now let's focus a little bit on the relief measures that are being taken by the state government. What else is the government doing to ensure that you rehabilitate the people at the earliest?
See, firstly, we have allocated about 1,000 crores, which is going to be used only for construction of roads and people who have lost their houses, the people, the schools which have been washed away, to rehabilitate all those schools, the private bodies, the corporates of various software companies are coming forward to take care of schools. We really appreciate. Right now, at this juncture, we need to really ensure human safety and the safety of the living beings, the animals, the dogs, their livestock, which we are rightly taking care of. Then later comes the housing facility would be provided to them, and then we would ensure that whatever their business losses, their crop losses, which would be evaluated and would be taken care.
What could be the extent of damage that Karnataka would have suffered as a result of this severe flooding and intense downpour? Kodagu has been severely battered. A lot of people have been displaced. Have you put together any number as of now to indicate the kind of damage that that area could have gone through?
See, the emotional damage is absolutely high. If at all we are talking about monetary, it could be anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 crores is what that looks like today because of the crops. The full-fledged crops which were there of farmers have been washed away, their houses have been gone. So yes, this is the rough estimation at this juncture, but I am not an expert. We are definitely evaluating.
Where does the human loss stand? Where does the human loss stand? How many lives have been lost so far as for the official government figures?
See, there is no official government figures of human losses here in Karnataka. Actually, the more human losses had happened in Kerala, which is of 221 till today morning. Thankfully, in the Karnataka region, we have not reported any lives which have gone till now. Absolutely no human losses has been reported yet.
And also, how many days will it take for the area to bounce back to normalcy? We believe that it is still raining in the areas. Some areas are severely waterlogged. How many more days before Kodagu could get on its feet?
It all really depends when the rain is going to stop and when is the sun going to come with its full glory. But for rehabilitation, it might take 6 months to a year. But for normalcy, I think in another 6, 7, 8 days, it would be enough. Because we have got report that rain is subsiding and rain is going to come down.
And Tanveer, while we appreciate the fact that you apologized on behalf of the party, a quick word if you could convey it across to Mr. H.D. Aerwyna. What you do, how you behave in public is something that is being watched very, very closely, and this gesture is certainly not appreciated, especially in a situation when there are desperate people hungry for some basic essentials and food.
Will do, sir. Will do. We'll take your message forward, sir.
Thank you so much, Tanveer Ahmed there from the JDS telling us more about the situation in Kodagu and also extending an unconditional apology for the behavior of H.D. Aerwyna, the senior leader from JDS, who was seen throwing biscuit packets at victims of the flood as if they were animals out there desperate for food. Staying with Karnataka, the flood situation in the state remains grim, particularly in Kodagu district. Rescue teams have been responding to SOS calls, reaching out to interior villages and evacuating people stranded in isolated areas. Here we see a daring rescue operation of a differently abled man on wheelchair through the treacherous terrain of Mukkudlu village in Kodagu. As many as 60 people were rescued from Mukkudlu, one of the worst hit areas of the district. And while the situation seems to be normalizing in Kerala, rain's fury continues in Andhra Pradesh and even Telangana now. About 300 pilgrims and traders were stranded in the forest area on the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. This happened when a small stream of water suddenly received flash floods, cutting off road links. The pilgrims were going to Mangamma temple, which is situated at the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Some vehicles parked there were also washed away in swirling floodwaters. Fresh landslides have also hit Andhra Pradesh, affecting passers-by and disrupting road traffic in various parts of the state. AP Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu addressed the media after conducting an internal meeting with his ministers. The Chief Minister said that a red alert had been sounded off in most of the low-lying areas of Andhra Pradesh. He also said that 4 districts of the state had been severely affected by incessant rainfall leading to floods. Naidu said that the agricultural losses will be assessed and the report would be submitted to the centre, while also suggesting that the government officials are bracing themselves for more impending floods in the coming days. The Chief Minister, after taking stock of the situation, warned of more floods in the coming days and also asked his agencies to be prepared for any untoward incident. The state government will also assess the overall damage owing to floods and heavy rainfall and present a report to the centre later. But for now, let's listen to what the CM had to say.
ఎక్కడికక్కడ వైద్య శిబిరాలు కానీ మందులు కానీ సిద్ధంగా పెట్టాం. ఎసెన్షియల్ కమాడిటీస్ కూడా సిద్ధంగా పెట్టాం. ఎక్కడైతే మెరూన్ అయిందో, పంటలు దెబ్బతిన్నాయో అవన్నీ కూడా ఇమీడియట్గా అధికార యంత్రాంగాన్ని అప్రమత్తం చేసి ఎస్టిమేట్స్ కూడా తయారు చేయమన్నాం. ఒక పక్కన చూస్తే మనకు ముఖ్యంగా ఈ 4 జిల్లాల్లో, శ్రీకాకుళంలో కొద్దిగా ఉంది కానీ ఈ 4 జిల్లాల్లో ఎక్కువ ఇదయింది. మన దగ్గర పడిన వర్షాల కంటే కూడా పైన వచ్చిన వర్షాలు, ఇక్కడ వచ్చిన వర్షాలు 2 అదనంగా యాడ్ అయినాయి. అదే రాయలసీమ, విజయనగరం అలాంటి జిల్లాల్లో ఇంకా మనకు రెయిన్ఫాల్ తక్కువే ఉంది. ఇన్ టైం, రియల్ టైంలో ఏమేం చేయాలనో ఆ యాక్టివిటీస్ అని చేస్తూ మనం కంట్రోల్ చేసుకుంటూ మ్యాక్సిమం ఎవరికి కూడా సఫరింగ్ లేకుండా, ఇబ్బందులు లేకుండా వాళ్ళందరినీ ఏ విధంగా ఇచ్చేయాలనో అవన్నీ చేస్తున్నాం.
On to some quick updates from Kerala now. The Home Ministry on Monday declared the devastating floods in Kerala a calamity of severe nature as the state braced for the mammoth task of reconstruction and rehabilitation. This categorization will enable the state to get greater monetary and other assistance from the centre. The death toll in the current spell of monsoon fury that began on 8th of August has risen to 223. Over 10.78 lakh displaced people, including 2.12 lakh women and 1 lakh children below the age of 12, have been sheltered in more than 3,200 relief camps across the state. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that there had been demands from various quarters to declare the floods as a national calamity, but since the centre was pointing out at certain technical difficulties to make such an announcement, he refrained from making any further demands. An all-party meeting will be held today to take stock of the flood situation. Relief material, including provisions, water and fuel, have started arriving at the Kochi airport from different parts of the country. A team of around 100 doctors and paramedical staff from Maharashtra left for Kerala yesterday to help the flood-affected people. The centre, meanwhile, provided some relief to Kerala by easing off customs duty and IGST on the relief material being taken to flood-ravaged parts of the state. Coming back to Andhra Pradesh, and the Chief Minister has a reason to smile, and this is the possible reason. The Andhra Pradesh government has received a shot in the arm with a welcome response to the issue of bonds to raise funds for the new capital, Amaravati. Amaravati bonds have been subscribed 1.5 times. The bonds were issued for 1,300 crore rupees and snapped up 2,000 crore rupees in an overwhelming response in just an hour. The issuing authority says the response shows the faith the investors have reposed in the Andhra Pradesh government. These funds are vital to making swift progress in greenfield projects and realize the potential of developmental works. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu had mandated APCRDA to explore innovative approaches to financing the capital city. Our correspondent Aneri Shah has sent us a report from Amaravati. Take a look.
Amravati bonds issued by the Andhra Pradesh Capital Regional Development Authority has received an overwhelming response from the institutional investors. The bonds were oversubsidized for over 1.5 times on an electronic bidding platform, while the plan is to raise around 10,000 crores through a crowdfunding exercise. But the government seems to be in confusion over the greenfield capital and the big city, as the economic potential is high. But it may lead to losses over the high cost burden, as the economy cannot be transferred to Amravati. With camera person Chari, Aneri Shah, India Ahead.
We'll slip into a very short break right now. On the other side, my colleague Shehryar Irani joins us from Kerala to give us the latest updates. Stay tuned for that.
You're watching India Ahead.
धमकी जिहाद के नारों से, हथियारों से कश्मीर कभी हथियार लोगे ये मत समझो। हमलों से, अत्याचारों से, संहारों से भारत का शीश झुका लोगे ये मत समझो।
Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee,
the former Prime Minister of India,
on the 16th of August is now no more.
Atal Bihari Vajpayee clearly lives on in our hearts forever.
Today is the day of learning. And our learning has to be that we need to be Atal in our desire. We need to be Atal in our resolve. We need to be Atal in our commitment to take this country ahead, to take India ahead. You're watching India Ahead.
Welcome back. For the latest update on the relief and rescue and rehabilitation operations going on in Kerala, let's head across to my colleague Shehryar Irani, who joins us from the rain-battered state. Shehryar, where exactly are you right now at this point in time as we speak, and what is the latest that you have to offer?
I'm at the capital, Thiruvananthapuram, and we were there in Chenganur in one of those relief camps yesterday, and we went and we found out the entire ground reality and the ground story of it. So as we could point out that from these collection centers that are in the capital, Thiruvananthapuram, and that was the only functional airport for a while after the Cochin airport obviously started resuming its services from Sunday or Monday morning. These collection centers take it to these relief camps that are across the state, across several rain-battered districts, and one such severe district is Chenganur, and there are these relief camps set up where there are relief rations where essential commodities are transported. So now this entire process has now not been relief driven, but now it is more on how the conditions of the people inside the relief camps are made better, how the conditions are made feasible, how the security is provided to them, how all these essential commodities that are reaching these collection centers come to these relief camps as soon as possible. And after these relief material has been sorted out, the next step is to make sure that the rehabilitation process, the next step is to make sure that the homes that are destroyed or the homes that have been flooded are safe to return to with a structural audit, with a security assessment, and to make sure that they do not have come back to any waterborne diseases. There's no calamity of sorts, there's no outbreak of waterborne diseases or leptospirosis that is in the making, and this is what the state is looking out for also. The state has asked for help in bleaching powder, it has asked for help in all these bleaching agents that can make sure that there's no outbreak of waterborne diseases.
Well, the good news is that there's not much rain that is forecast over the next 4 or 5 days. With regard to the relief and rescue operations, have they picked up pace? Has the state already constituted teams of people who are supposed to inspect the structural and electrical safety of various houses that were abandoned? That was to be taken on top priority. Also, road construction was to be taken on top priority. Repair work is very, very important so that people could get back to their respective places, and at the same time so that, relief and other material could start flowing easily. What is the update on that?
Yes, so the rescue effort on a large scale has been taken care of, has been done. There are only few pockets in districts like Paravur and Nellyampeti and Chenganur where people are still stranded. But again, the rescue efforts have reached there. They have been provided relief rations. Some of the people are willingly staying back to take care of their houses, to make sure that their houses are secure, to make sure that the damage to their houses is limited. So these are stranded pockets in Paravur, in Cherungudi, but Nellyampeti is one of the districts where the people are still stranded because of the major roads, as you pointed out, has been destroyed due to a landslide. So now the government officials have to come in and make sure that the entire infrastructure, the lead to the roads, can be constructed. And as you rightly pointed out, due to the weather gods being kind and no rains forecasted for the next 4 to 5 days, no heavy rains being forecasted, there will be still slight showers. The construction works of this infrastructure, that is roads, that is approachways, can be resumed. And the committees, as you said, the committees have been formed. They have been doing rounds. They are choosing districts where the waters have been receded to the lowest, so as to make sure that they can go there, they can declare the area safe, and people from these relief centers can go back to their homes, can start thinking of living a normal life, and can start resuming their normal life.
Still a long way before normalcy returns to Kerala. It will easily take at least another year or two. But thank you so much for all those latest updates, Shariar. We will keep coming to you during the course of the day as you will get us the latest along with our other colleagues, Rixon, Sabita, and of course Anand, who has been reporting from Karnataka. But that's the latest update. Thankfully, rains have subsided and the forecast also looks bright for the next few days. There's not much of rain that is expected. And as the day progresses, rehabilitation operations are expected to pick up pace. On to some cricket news now, and after carrying the weight of India's batting over the last 5.5 test matches, Virat Kohli brought up a comfortable century. Cheteshwar Pujara found some form, and Hardik Pandya added a runner ball 50 to his fifer on a day that India batted England into the ground. With 2 days still to go, India batted to their heart's content, taking the lead to 520 before giving England 9 overs to bat in the evening. India could afford to take their time. Kohli eased his way to the fourth slowest of his 23 test centuries, now the joint fourth highest tally for India. After the year he has had, who will grudge him one without any drama? There was some drama though, as James Anderson, with whom Kohli is having an epic duel this series, nearly got him on 93. But at the end, the Indian captain had the final laugh as he completed his second century of the Test series. Let's have a look at how Virat Kohli dominated in this game and in this series so far. Well, this is his tally for the first innings, and he missed out on a test ton by a mere margin of 3 runs. Made 97 from 152 deliveries at a strike rate of 63.81. Well, he wasn't satisfied with that effort as he came back and completed his 23rd test ton in the second innings that came off 197 deliveries at a strike rate of 52.28. The good part for Team India, they negotiated the conditions well, they batted really well. Virat Kohli led from the front and Cheteshwar Pujara found some form, and as well as Ajinkya Rahane, who struck a half century in the first innings, of course, to go with that fifer and a half century for Hardik Pandya. For more on this, we'll be joined in by my colleague Harshit, who joins us from Delhi. Harshit, this match is India's to lose.
Definitely, Ravi. India in the dominant position, India with the upper hand, India on the front foot. You can say all those things. And you have to give credit to Virat Kohli for the way he played yesterday. Clearly, as you said, he wasn't perhaps satisfied with the 97 in the first innings as he went on to score his 23rd Test century. So, But Ravi, one thing that I'd like to point out here is that batting looked easy on this wicket in the second innings for India. There is some sort of rain that is expected during the course today, but there's no confirmation on that yet. Things are pretty much the same as far as conditions are concerned. But again, as I said, you could see the way the Indians batted, they weren't troubled much by that ball, by that old ball. There wasn't much of a reverse swing. Yes, you can say there was some sort of a collapse triggered after Virat Kohli was dismissed for 103 by Chris Foakes. But, batting looked a little easy when you compare it with the first innings. And England got off to a cautious start as well. You can see there was caution in the way, Alistair Cook and Keaton Jennings got off the mark in the second innings. And clearly, given the fact that the English have a long way to go, 498 runs yet to be made. There's 2 days of complete 2 days play that is still left. There's a lot for England to do, an uphill task, a mammoth task ahead of them. And, in India, definitely the stronger team in a stronger position right now, and they'll be coming out all guns blazing today on day 4.
Taking nothing away from Team India and giving credit where it is due, I think it was indeed a fantastic batting performance by the Indians, because it was the same wicket on which England batsmen got all over the place. They were bundled out for a paltry 161. Yes, of course, one would argue that the conditions were overcast when England were batting, but I think the pitch was also exploited really well by Hardik Pandya, who got his first fifer, and then Virat Kohli coming back and dominating in the second innings, taking India to a very, very strong position, giving a target of 521 for the opposition with 2 entire days to bat out.
Yes, Ravi, definitely, credit has to be given to Hardik Pandya. In fact, there's a new debate that started around now, whether he's a batting all-rounder or a bowling all-rounder, because, he can give you enough runs with the bat in the limited overs contest with the white ball, but he's made a statement here. It's only his 12th Test match, if I'm not wrong, and he's making good progress. He's contributed 20 odd runs, 30 in both the innings. In fact, a half century in the second innings. So and then picking 5 wickets in the first innings as well. His maiden 5-wicket haul in Test cricket, that too in English conditions. So definitely you've got to give a pat on the back to Hardik Pandya. He's really made a statement of intent. You already know for a fact that Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri have a liking for him. They do fancy the team dynamics are such that they do like to play with that bowling or batting all rounder. You don't know what to call Hardik Pandya right now, but he's definitely someone who comes in very handy both with the bat and the ball. And given the fact that India will be looking to take as many wickets today, I think Hardik Pandya will be craving to have that red cherry in his hand.
Well, not just a statement of intent, he also made a statement suggesting that he is happy being Hardik Pandya and doesn't really want to be Kapil Dev. If I could ask my director to plug in that particular soundbite during the post-match press conference when someone asked him if he were to be compared to Kapil Dev, well, this is what he had to say.
Sir, the problem with this, what happens, they compare, yes, right, but all of a sudden when something goes wrong, they're like, he's not that. I never wanted to be Kapil Dev. Let me be Hardik Pandya. I'm good at it, Hardik Pandya. I've reached here till now. I've played 40 ODIs and now 10 Test matches being Hardik Pandya, not Kapil Dev. So they are great at their era. Let me be Hardik Pandya. Let's stop comparing me with anyone. I'll be happy if you don't.
Well, not just Hardik Pandya, even India would be happy if he just continues to be the Hardik Pandya that we saw at Trent Bridge, taking wickets and smashing centuries and half centuries. On that note, thank you so much, Harshit, for joining us. Wonderful talking to you. And with that, we'll call it a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Time now for a short break. On the other side, we have an India Ahead special. Stay tuned for that.
You're watching India Ahead.
We look forward to India Ahead, creating a neutral platform to be inclusive and for all voices to be heard.
ये मैट्रिक्स की ऐप क्या कमाल चीज है. What an all-rounder. इसके साथ होटल बुक करो, कैब बुक करो, लंदन में शॉपिंग करो, मैडम टुसाड्स घूमिए, लॉर्ड्स का टूर कीजिए और दुबई में एक्सक्लूसिव डिस्काउंट्स पाइए. रिचार्ज कीजिए, डेटा ट्रैक कीजिए, फॉरेक्स ट्रैक कीजिए. थके हो यार ऐप के बारे में बोलते बोलते. एक काम कीजिए, खुद ही डाउनलोड कीजिए. मैट्रिक्स, कुछ तो बात है इनमें.
You're watching India Ahead.
Now, our focus on the show, Nirav Modi, the man India is looking to bring to justice in the multi-crore rupee Punjab National Bank fraud case. Before I talk to my panelists on the show, it's important to understand the key points in the case against Nirav Modi. So let's take a quick look. Well, first we have to trace his steps all the way from when he fled from the country. This happened in January this year. Let's take a look. Let's start with the latest. The United Kingdom has today confirmed the presence of Nirav Modi in its territory. Very important because now we know that he is in the United Kingdom. Authorities have also confirmed this. This confirmation came through an email. This happened on Sunday. We got these details today. Earlier, the CBI, remember, had sent a diffusion notice against Nirav Modi to the Interpol. And before that, remember, Interpol had issued a red corner notice against Nirav Modi. This happened in July this year. That's how it moved. Now, before that, the CBI, as well as the Enforcement Directorate, moved the Interpol. This happened in June, so that a red corner notice could be issued to take the proceedings further. And it all started when news broke that Nirav Modi fled India. This happened in the first week of January earlier this year. So with the fact that we've traced his steps now to the United Kingdom, what does it mean? Are we one step closer to Nirav Modi's extradition? Indian government now submitted the extradition request. This happened in August this year. So that's the very latest information. Nirav Modi, remember, is accused of cheating the Punjab National Bank of 13,578 crore rupees. That's the main charge against him. Now, what the authorities in UK will do, they will have to vet the charge sheet against Nirav Modi first before proceeding any further in the case. And the UK court also at the same time, based on the facts, will decide on India's extradition plea. Very, very important. They'll have to establish that he did indeed commit a fraud. Now, all of this, the talk of extradition, dates back to a treaty that India and United Kingdom signed back in the year 1992. From then on, several extradition requests have been made, but all of them rejected. 9 of them at least rejected. Extradition is only possible when the offence is criminal in both the soils, that is in India as well as the United Kingdom. And also the requested country, which in this case is Britain, the United Kingdom, they must be satisfied on the case that is being made out against Nirav Modi. So these are all the facts that we have on the show, and basis of this we're going to talk about what happens next. Joining me on the broadcast this evening is Congress spokesperson Muhammad Khan. He joins me from Delhi. From the BJP, Mr. Sridhar Reddy, he joins me live from Hyderabad. We have a lawyer as well on the panel, Mr. R.K. Gaur. He's also joining me from Delhi. Thank you all very much for joining me. My first question to you, Mr. Gaur, in this. Now the UK has confirmed of Nirav Modi's presence on the soil right now. India has moved as far as the extradition request is concerned. Legally speaking, what happens next?
Legally speaking, they have moved an application for extradition. Now, Nirav Modi would resort to Article 9 of the treaty, which came into effect in 1993. Would look into arguments of both sides, counter arguments. And the court would look into the matter whether this would constitute an offence in UK or not. Nirav Modi is able to satisfy that not constitute an offence, it will not be executed. But there is a catch. You see, what is the catch is done by these investigating agents. I don't want to talk about the politics part because two political panelists are there. The offence was registered in February and Interpol was informed in June. Is it right or the appropriate thing to do? Is it not facilitating the accused so that he resort to all his legal remedies available in the countries where they are lenient? I think the role of the investigative agencies are not ever. At the same time, see, what is this offense? Look at the offense part. A person creates n number of entities, the companies, create the camouflage of the company, rotate the fund, take the funds from PNB, rotate them among the companies, and at least 4 of the company's directors were residing in the Charles. So what was being done by the registrar of company? What was being done by CRIF investigating office? What was done by financial intelligence? So it's a failure of the complete machinery of India. Nothing political. I was against this. Nothing political. It is a failure of the investigating agencies, failure of the financial intelligence agency that they could not prevent this.
Okay, so you're saying it's the failure of the financial intelligence agencies in this case, because all these economic offenders, not just Nirav Modi, how did they manage to flee the country despite the fact that there was concrete proof, there were charges, these cases were being probed at the time they left the country. Coming to you, Mohammad Khan of the Congress now, Nirav Modi isn't the first. You know, perhaps he's the 29th fugitive that India has asked the United Kingdom to extradite. Now, in the past 16 years, we understand that the UK has rejected at least cases pertaining to 9 various fugitives, their specific extradition requests. What should we hope for in this particular case? If it hasn't happened in the past, why are we, supposed to be hopeful that the UK authorities will listen to what the Indian authorities are saying at this time? Are we fighting a losing battle then?
Well, Sara, I wouldn't want to prejudice the government's efforts, but I believe that there has been a huge lapse domestically. And if we do not hold the government accountable for that domestic lapse, then we would be remiss in doing our job. First and foremost, why do these 3 cases smack of some degree of government support, whether it's Nirav Modi, Lalit Modi, Mehul Choksi or Vijay Mallya? Start from Vijay Mallya. He left the country under circumstances where there's no other option but to arrive at the conclusion that he was aided by the authorities in power. I'll explain. There was a lookout circular that was already opened which prevented him from leaving the country. That lookout notice was suspended briefly and only in so far as he was allowed to leave the country, and then it was reinstated. Now that happened with the assistance of someone in government. Only the Home Ministry or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs could have taken that call. So clearly somebody here was complicit. The government has held no one to account for that. No investigation has taken place. Number 2, Nirav Modi clearly has advance information because 20 days before his lookout circular is issued, he gathers his entire
All right. In fact, there seems to be some audio glitch there as far as Mohammad Khan is concerned. We'll try and reconnect with him in just a few moments. But clearly, he's talking about the fact that somebody was constantly tipping off, Nirav Modi. That's why he had a heads up. Now, coming back to you, Mr. Gaur, at this point, it was on the 2nd of July that the Interpol issued a red corner notice against Nirav Modi under the money laundering charges that were levelled by the Enforcement Directorate. It was only in the first week of August that we heard in Parliament from MOS External Affairs VK Singh, who said that India had sent in an extradition request. There was clearly a gap of 1 month between, those two developments. Is the government acting late?
See, it is not 1 month. We need to look at the FIR was registered in February. So mid of February, the FIR was registered. From that point of time, 23rd of August, we are on every point of time. At every point of time,
whereabouts.
did
The
not
government
take
did not know where he was, but it still got tipped off and it made an extradition request to the UK government back then.
Sorry, I missed your question.
I'm saying let's assume that the government wasn't aware that he was in the UK. Remember that confirmation came in only today, but assuming that it had got tipped off and then made an extradition request, even then it seemed to have been acted a bit late.
Absolutely. You see, we need to look at the part that the Interpol was informed in May. They could have taken the warrant from the concerned in February, March. The warrant was not taken. The action was delayed. And whatsoever action has been taken against Nirav Modi, this is simplicity. Look at the income tax proceedings. It was proliferated in the news media that his property is attached. Such attachment is not possible until and unless it is being adjudicated. And it will take some months at least. So we are misinformed, that is for sure. Why we are misinformed, that is to be looked into by the authorities or the government, or it is being done at their behest.
Right, Mr. Gaur. I'm going to come to you, Mohammad Khan, next because I've just been informed that we had a BJP guest lined up for the show, but at the last moment he will not be able to make it. But the question remains, how do you look at what happens next? Because clearly, whether you talk about the BJP government or the Congress government at the centre, it's been years now and we haven't seen a successful extradition as far as, India's treaty with the United Kingdom is concerned. What makes this case different is my core question, and it remains, and whether the government will be able to extradite him or not, and what extra has the government done despite having this whole trail of documents that it has and this whole elaborate case against Nirav Modi.
Well, 3 points. First and foremost, we believe that the government should hold those accountable who helped all these 3 fugitives escape. We believe that bills and legislations like the Fugitive Offenders Bill, as they call it, are window dressing. They're an eyewash. Laws like that already exist, and this bill is an exercise in PR management. 3, the Ministry of External Affairs has taken to publishing the list of successful and unsuccessful extraditions that have taken place over the last decade and a half, as you rightly pointed out. You will notice that though not with the UK, the UPA government had numerous successes in getting people extradited from other jurisdictions. I think it is a question of diplomacy. Mr. Modi often prides himself on the fact that he has given India a new standing. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen through interlocutions and discussions such as this. I don't want to take too many jabs at the BJP because they don't have a person present here to defend. But I will say this as an opposition, we are deeply disappointed in the manner in which this was allowed to happen and the fact that it became a pattern. So clearly there is a weakness in the existing system and that needs to be examined and corrected.
2 things that you've raised. Also, Mr. Gaur, do you see a pattern when it comes to Mehul Choksi, Nirav Modi, this particular case of, bank fraud as far as the Punjab National Bank is concerned? And my second question, which also Mohammad Khan has raised, the Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. Is it really window dressing? Is it even effective? Because we understand that later on the 25th of September, according to the Act, his family members have been asked to appear, and if they don't, then Nirav Modi's properties will be attached. But is that enough? Because he's still free, he's still in the United Kingdom. So is this action enough?
See, such attachments were being done in the case of Vijay Mallya as well. Some of the attachments were actually set aside by the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. I don't see that such attachments or the relatives anymore. Then that may not be that legal. So that part is arguable. We need to look whether there is money trail from Nirav Modi's accounts to these relatives' accounts were being summoned and why has it not been appearing. So this is a legal jargon which will take years to actually manifest. What needs to be looked into? Now I come to your question one.
डेमोक्रेसी को मजबूत करने के लिए मीडिया का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण रोल होता है। ऐसे में मुझे पूरा विश्वास है इंडिया अहेड न्यूज जनता की सेवा की भावना से और लोकतंत्र को मजबूत करने की दिशा में महत्वपूर्ण रोल अदा करेगा। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Hi, I'm Jiska Chopra. आप देख रहे हैं इंडिया अहेड. Keep watching.
Every day, things happen that affect your world. Are you on the right track? Times, they're changing. Are you changing with the time? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. India ahead. While others give heat, we shed light.
हाँ मम्मी।
खा लिया मेरा बच्चा?
कुछ खास नहीं मम्मी।
सरसों का साग मंगा।
यहाँ तो सिर्फ कल परसों का मिलता है। तुम्हारी बहुत याद आती है मम्मी। एक काम करते हैं, सुबह तुम फोन करना, दोपहर को मैं।
The Matrix SIM card you can talk on and on and on because it doesn't cost the air.
घर आ जा।
नहीं वापस नहीं आऊंगा, बस फोन करते रहना मम्मी।
Get free calls and unlimited data with Matrix SIM cards.
Post demonetization has been told that the companies were actually scrutinized, and that scrutinization has stopped or done some preventive measure, taken some preventive measures to the circulation of black. As far as the companies of Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi are concerned, they have created a network of companies. They have routed that money through various companies, and the money was sent outside. The assets were assessed on the higher side, and that is the reason Punjab National Bank officials gave them. So it is not only the fraud played by the Nirav Modi, Choksi, and in conniving PNB officials. It is a serious lapse on the part of income tax, on the part of Ministry of Company Affairs officials.
At many levels, starting from 2011 till date.
Yes, it's a fraud which has been happening, and not by Nirav Modi. See, these are few names. The issue is it is not only the banks have been defrauded. It is not being defrauded by Mehul Choksi or by Vijay Mallya or by
In Mohammad Khan at this point. Mohammad Khan, we are talking about this important point, and which brings me, to raise this point as well, that this has been a gradual fraud that's been happening, and perhaps it's not just these one or two people. Perhaps we need to take a closer look at how many other, such bank loan fraud cases are going on under this present government as well. And this was, started in 2011. Remember, when the UPA was in power, did the government not get a whiff of such a massive scam that was waiting to happen and sort of building up?
Right. Sana, the answer to the question is as follows. First of all, a non-performing asset is declared 180 days or 190 days after the person fails to pay the loan installments. If the loan is being serviced and installments are being paid, you assume that the company is healthy enough. Now, after 190 days, if they stop paying, and in the case of these three people, as soon as that came to light, causes of actions. In the case of Vijay Mallya, for example, the cause of action was initiated in 2014 after these people came into power. For Nirav Modi, Mehul Chokshi, the cause of action arose last year. In fact, we know, this is a fact, that this government authorized through the SBI the renewal of the credit notes and the bank guarantees given to these individuals. The lines of credit, you remember, about a year ago, they were renewed for Nirav Modi. Now, there was an error of judgment on someone's part. And they can't kick the can into the past and say that, no, this is a legacy issue. You knew that these people were borrowing. You knew that there were systemic frauds happening. And yet you played along. Nirav Modi went and posed for a picture with you in Davos, beaming and looking very chuffed. Ultimately, the question arises that this was not a priority issue for you for 4 years. It was only when the opposition built pressure on you. It is only when the media and channels such as yourself started building pressure on them and asking them the difficult questions. Do they start now doing this eyewash of a fugitive economic offenders bill and extradition proceedings? As you rightly pointed out, the chances of success in an extradition proceedings, though we wish them well, are minimal. And as far as the fugitive economic offenders bill is concerned, the reason we call it window dressing is because even before, are you telling me that for 70 years, courts and agencies did not have the power to attach properties? That is absurd. Of course they did. You could attach property under the PMLA, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. You could attach it under SARFAESI. Banks could attach it at any given points of time. The SFIO could attach it. High courts had inherent powers under Section 151 of the CPC and 482 of the CRPC to attach property. So to suddenly turn around and say we have done this thing that didn't exist is again a form of propaganda. The government should focus, which is what we are saying, Sana, more and more on running the country rather than on politicking. Because unfortunately, they've been asleep at the wheel for 4 years, and that is why things like this were allowed to happen.
Well, it would have been certainly better if we had a, BJP representation as well on the panel, but unfortunately we couldn't have that. But this, of course, is one issue that we will continue to talk about as extradition of Nirav Modi seems unlikely in a week or two. But Mr. Gaur, finally, last reaction from you at this point. Now that the UK authorities have confirmed that Nirav Modi is present, we already have a Vijay Mallya in the United Kingdom. Mehul Chokshi, though, is in Antigua at this point in time. But what sort of action are we, what sort of actions are we taking to really bring him to book? Extradition, we understand, is a long procedure. Merely attaching his properties, is this the answer? Because this is one case that we could see perhaps next year and the year after that, unless a strong action is taken, and that perhaps becomes a deterrent to people, sending out a strong message that you cannot mess with the finances of the country, you cannot fraud banks which are national banks in the country and just run away from the country without being accountable.
See, country's finances cannot be touched, they cannot be defrauded unless people in power support them. I wish to point out that this is the same Vijay Mallya did not appear before the Enforcement Directorate in 1999. The matter went up till Supreme Court. Supreme Court declared exemplary penalty against the same Vijay Mallya in 2003. And the same Vijay Mallya was awarded member of Rajya Sabha, by whom I don't know. A political statement, if I may. But
the fact was that he was, yeah. Yeah.
Started occurring in the governance. They did lead to that. Particularly, there was an apparent admitted case of service tax evasion as a provision of arrest, provision of attachment of the properties. That would subsequently lead into an offense of prevention of money laundering in regime. Now, the problem is nobody wants to take any concrete action when they are in country. When they have run away, you are.
I think that's the key. That's the key. I have about 30 seconds for you, Mohammad Khan, very quickly. Then I'll have to end the show. The question now is all about political intent, is it not?
Yes. Well, absolutely correct. And let me conclude by saying this. All three of these people who left, whether it's Mehul Choksi, Nirav Modi or Vijay Mallya, they all had some deep and pervasive connection to this government. I wish the BJP spokesperson had been here. I would have wanted him to hear this. Mehul Bhai, as Modi ji referred to him, Nirav Modi, who posed with the Prime Minister, and Vijay Mallya, who surprisingly was the beneficiary of this government's largesse. When his lookout circular was suspended by someone in power, he escaped and then restored. Again, the trail leads back to these people. If they don't begin to answer, then they will face a very difficult time in the months ahead, because people are beginning to ask the tough questions.
And everybody is watching. The facts are all out there. Now it all depends on the present day government. How successful will India be as far as negotiating with the authorities in the United Kingdom to bring back these economic offenders? A lot will depend on the credibility of the government as well, as far as these economic offenders are concerned, and them bringing them back to the country is concerned. Thank you so much, Mohammad Khan, as well as Mr. R.K. Gaur, for joining me on the show this evening. That's it then. We wrap up this edition of Spotlight, heading into a short break. Be right back tomorrow, same time, with another issue to debate and discuss. Thanks for tuning in.
You're watching India Ahead.
I'm very pleased to encourage the new channel that's coming out under the name India Ahead. We need new voices, free voices, liberal voices that will speak to all sections of our society and that will portray what's happening in India today and tomorrow in a constructive spirit. So in that spirit, I wish India Ahead all success.